This is a walkthrough the Inquisition contest system. BYUI held in July 2015 the first edition of the Inquisition contest, which is a Hispanic trivia competition. A system was required to display random questions at contest time. Also, the system needed to keep track of the scores and the winner in each game. Behind the scenes, a database was required to store questions, teams, participants, and round results. I'll give you a quick walkthrough the site, and then I'll explain how the code works and how the data is being organized. The first things you encounter visiting the system is the login page. This is because of the security requirements. I'll sign in as the admin user. This is the administrator panel. In here you can add, edit, or delete questions, topics, teams and participants, and users to the system. I already added some topics here and some questions here. And as you can see, for example, here, every question has a text, an answer, a difficulty, and a topic. Internally, the question, it's saving or storing the topic ID, but the application for presentation and to make things better, it shows the topic name. From here, you can edit or delete any of the questions. And for example, we have to correct this one here. So let's edit this question. Let's change the topic and its difficulty. So we can update the question here. A quick search feature was introduced to make things more handy. Here I just have 15 questions, but the contest, the real system for the contest might have hundreds of questions. So it becomes a nice feature to search for things there. For example, I'll search all the questions that have in its text the word Mexico. This one here. Going back to the admin menu, let's add some teams to simulate a game in the contest. I will add two teams, one Los Conquistadores and Team Hispania. From here we can edit each team to include its participants. So we see we have 0 participants here. And here, if I add a participant without a name, which is required, then I'll be notified. And right here I'm using HTML5 validation, but it also does server-side validation in case HTML5 validation is not enabled in the browser. So email and major are not required, so I'll just add that name there. And let's add another one and a third one. So a business rule says that a team can be made up to 3 persons. So you see I don't have the plus button here, so I just can add up to 3 participants here. Let's get back here. And as I said before, edit, delete functions are also available for each entity. And we'll see for teams, questions, topics, and users. Now that we have at least 2 teams on the database, we can start a game. And we could start it from here. But since it's unlikely that the admin will be starting every game, because remembering the game or the contest is having several games at the same time, let's log out from here right now, and we're back to the same login screen from before. And let's see another system feature that I introduced, which depending on the type of user that logs in, does different actions and directs you to different parts of the application. So in this case, I log in as the presenter, and the presenter is another user type that was designed to start games, but that doesn't have any access to the admin actions. So even if I know the address for the admin actions, I will be redirected to the login page. So those things are secure there. So let's log in back here. And from here, we can see I can pick teams from here. So I'll add that team here, and I'll add the other team here to start the game. And you see, after adding two teams, sorry, the start button appears here. Also, if I try to add the same team again, like it won't allow me, just the two who are there. So let's start the game. This is the main game page, and from here we can pick a topic and a random question will appear. So let's do that. Clicking this button over here will show us the answer, and will show also check boxes for each of the teams in the game. So by selecting them, it adds a point to every team. And we can see here that the score on top changes. So another business rule here is that there can't be a tie. So to finish the game, we have to break that tie. And in case the presenter just doesn't realize that and clicks it, it's being notified here. The controller is checking the scores and everything. So let's break the tie, selecting another question here. So just give 1 point and finish the game. This shows the teams, their scores, and so like highlights the winner here. So we're done with that. And that's how the application should work. So now I'll show you the code, how it's designed. So the logic here, this follows the MVC pattern. So I have three main controllers, which is the login one, the admin actions, and the contest actions. Also, I have my model here, which has a file for every one of the entities in the database, just to keep things organized. And as you can see, it's using the PDO library to communicate with the database. Also, to recycle some code, there's the views here, which have the header, footer, and error things there. Of course, it's using also CSS, but that doesn't have to do with the MVC. So going here to one of the controllers, we can see we import the models we're going to use, and all the logic it's done here. You can see here that depending on the value of the action, it renders the different pages on the website. I will show you now the relational entity diagram for the database. So here you see all the entities, which are tables too. The main one will be question, and it has two references. One to topic, which is a table that just has the topic name, and other one to created by. So it has a relation to the user table and records who created the question. Something extra here is the used field for question, and that just contains a boolean representing once it's been used, so it won't appear on other games in the contest. So first we have the game here, which has also a relation to the user who created the game. In this case, the presenter or the admin. Has a relation to the team here, so it records the winner, and it has a creation time there for uniqueness. The team, as we saw before, is just the name and has a participant, so the participant has name, email, major, and the team, so has that relation there. The most complex entity will be games teams, because a team can have or can be in several games, and a game can have several teams. That creates a many-to-many relation, and that always creates a third table to handle all that. So it has an ID and has the game ID to which it pertains, and the team ID and the score. And yep, that's how the data is organized in the database.